Hey everyone, welcome back to Insight Simplified, your go-to channel for breaking down complex economic theories into bite-sized, pizza-flavored nuggets of wisdom. In our last episode, we delved into Adam Smith's renowned free market theory. Today, we're going to look at how Adam Smith categorizes the roles we play in the economy and what specific suggestions he has for economic activities. Spoiler alert, it's as fascinating as trying to choose toppings for your ultimate pizza. The three roles in economic life. Adam Smith had a nifty way of simplifying the complex web of economic activities by classifying everyone into three roles: workers, capitalists, and landowners. Workers are the folks who provide labor. They are like the chefs in our pizza analogy, putting in the hard work to create something valuable. Capitalists supply capital, which isn't just money, but also includes resources like raw materials and equipment. Think of them as the investors who buy the best ovens and freshest ingredients to make the pizzas. Landowners provide land and receive rent in return. They are like the pizza shop owners who rent out their space to the pizza-making team. Workers, the backbone of economic activity. In primitive societies, workers directly reap the fruits of their labor. Smith proposed that labor is the fundamental measure of value, like how the chef's effort is key to a delicious pizza. But as history progressed, things got more complex with the advent of capitalists and landowners. Smith saw labor as the true source of wealth. Imagine you're making a pizza from scratch. The value of that pizza isn't just in the ingredients, it's also in the effort, the skill, and the time you put into it. The same principle applies to the economy. Workers' contributions are essential in creating value, and thus, they should be fairly compensated. Capitalists, the investors. Capitalists invest in materials and equipment, driving others to work for them. This investment is necessary because certain production tools, like machines, are too costly for individual workers to afford. Smith acknowledged the legitimacy of capitalist profits, viewing their efforts as a unique form of labor. For example, consider a pizza restaurant. A capitalist invests in high-quality ovens, fresh ingredients, and perhaps even a delivery app. These investments enable the restaurant to produce more pizzas faster and reach a wider audience. The capitalist bears the risk and deserves a return on their investment, which Smith sees as a fair reward for their role in the economy. Landowners, the controversial players. Landowners rent out land for production. Smith was somewhat critical of landowners, as he felt they didn't contribute significantly to the final product's value. It's like a pizza shop owner charging exorbitant fees just because they own the place, even if they haven't upgraded the kitchen in decades. Critique of landowners. Smith was particularly critical of landowners who didn't maintain their properties yet demanded high rents. For instance, some landowners in Smith's time charged rent for the right to collect seaweed from coastal rocks, which was used in glass and soap production. He viewed these practices as unjust and detrimental to economic efficiency. Smith highlighted instances where landowners would charge for natural resources that required minimal upkeep on their part. He cited examples like landlords in Scotland charging for seaweed and fishing rights, which seemed unreasonable to him. In his view, the lack of active contribution from landowners didn't justify their income, which often resulted from mere ownership rather than effort or improvement. Capitalists versus workers, a balancing act. Smith sympathized greatly with workers, noting that a society cannot prosper if the majority of its members are poor and miserable. He was cautious of capitalists because their pursuit of profit could lead to monopolies, which undermine the free market spirit. For Smith, The ideal scenario involved fair competition and wages set by market forces, not by collusion among capitalists. Smith emphasized that capitalists might not always align with the broader interests of society. While they drive innovation and economic growth, their desire for profit can lead to monopolistic practices. Imagine a single pizza chain dominating the market. They might lower quality and increase prices because there's no competition. Smith believed in healthy competition to keep businesses honest and beneficial for consumers. Policies for fair competition. Smith suggested that policies should strictly scrutinize capitalists' proposals to prevent them from abusing their influence. This would ensure that the benefits of the free market extend to the largest group, workers. For example, modern antitrust laws align with Smith's thinking. These laws prevent companies from becoming too dominant, ensuring that no single entity can dictate market terms unfairly. Smith advocated for such measures to keep the market dynamic and fair. Free movement of labor. Smith also advocated for the free movement of labor, arguing it's a fundamental right for individuals to utilize their labor wherever it's most needed. This viewpoint was a reaction to restrictive laws of his time, like the Poor Laws and apprenticeship systems, which limited labor mobility. Smith believed that workers should have the freedom to move where their skills are in demand. Imagine being a skilled pizza chef but being forced to stay in a town with no pizza shops. By allowing labor to move freely, economies can better match supply with demand, leading to greater overall efficiency and prosperity. The impact of the Poor Laws. The Poor Laws in Smith's time were designed to provide relief to the poor, but had unintended consequences. They restricted the movement of laborers, as local parishes were responsible for their poor. This meant that parishes discouraged outsiders from settling in their area to avoid additional financial burdens. Smith saw this as a barrier to economic freedom and efficiency. The apprenticeship system. Similarly, the apprenticeship system required individuals to undergo lengthy apprenticeships to enter certain trades. While intended to ensure skill quality, it also restricted labor market entry and mobility. Smith argued that such barriers prevented the optimal use of human capital and hindered economic progress. Smith's vision for land use. Smith advocated for a more dynamic land market. He admired the land policies in the American colonies, where land was more freely bought and sold. This contrasted with the rigid landholding patterns in Britain, where large estates were passed down through generations without much change. Smith believed that making land more accessible would increase its productive use and benefit the economy as a whole. The ethical dimension. Smith's advocacy for labor rights also had an ethical component. He argued that individuals have a natural right to the fruits of their labor. This belief underpinned his critique of systems that restricted labor mobility or imposed unfair burdens on workers. For Smith, economic policies should not only aim for efficiency, but also respect the fundamental rights of individuals. Conclusion: Smith's vision for a fair economy. Smith believed that a truly free market, free from monopolistic practices and undue restrictions, would naturally balance out to benefit all. By allowing land to circulate freely and ensuring workers could move to where they're most needed, he envisioned an economy where everyone could enjoy a bigger, better slice of the prosperity pie. Smith's ideas remain relevant today as we continue to grapple with issues of economic fairness and efficiency. His insights remind us that while markets are powerful tools for generating wealth, they must be guided by principles of fairness and justice to truly benefit society. So, what's your take on Adam Smith's views? Do you think today's economic policies align with his vision? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Insight Simplified, and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our deep dives into economic theories. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and keep enjoying those pizzas of knowledge.